Hello, Haley Jepson, how are you?
Oh, I'm really good, Maddie Cock. How are you?
Yeah, I'm grand. It makes you laugh
Nice to
every time.
see you. Never
And you,
not
my
funny.
sweet. Never not, it doesn't get old, Haley, our
Not for
Japes.
us anyway.
I'm going to call you Haley Japeson from now on. Oi.
Oh.
Oh, God. Anyway, um, is Cher in the house? Because today, Haley, I want to turn back down.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm full of it
Nice.
today. I thought it would be cool if we just talked about if we had a time machine, what we would do differently in like a whole bunch of different aspects. Are you in?
Of hairdressing.
Just
Or
whatever, like
life in
life. Or
general.
let's
My
list all of our
regrets of
deepest
life.
regrets. Yeah, I mean, let's just see where it goes.
If I was to go back to, if I was going to go back to hairdressing as my main gig,
Yeah,
what would I do?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's tell her.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I've got a few thoughts about that instantly.
Yeah,
I've thought about this recently quite a few times actually for some reason, although I don't have any intention of doing it. I think about this a lot because I talk to hairdressers a lot about how they run their businesses due to how stressed they are. I think
yeah,
about a lot about what I would do if I was going to do that. So
yeah.
yeah. All right. I'll tell you one of my
You go
ideas and
for
then
it.
you tell me
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
yours and we'll see what
yeah.
happens. All right. The first big thing I would do is about where I would work. And I would
Mm,
get a studio suite because we have those in Manchester. And
yeah.
Phoenix, who are the big company in America that runs suites, have got one in Manchester. It opened
Yeah.
a year ago, maybe. And loads of people I know work there, have got suites there. And it's interesting because that's the first thing I would do is city centre, which would suit me. Um, I think because all my clients were from all over Manchester, not that I've got any clients anymore, but that's how
Yeah.
I feel they'd come back in a heartbeat, Maddie.
Yeah, yeah.
They still message me every now and again and say, no one's as good as you, which I love. But I would get a studio suite, and I really wanted a studio suite actually towards the end of my career in the
Mm-hmm.
last few years, but there wasn't any. And I
Mm-hmm.
was really struggling to rent a chair anywhere that I considered up to scratch.
Yeah,
And it was hard, so I ended up getting a home salon.
yeah,
And I liked having a home salon, but my house isn't really geared up for it. So the
yeah.
first thing I would do is I would get a studio suite. That's where I
Would
would
you just
work.
tell our lovely listeners who don't know what a studio suite is, just to describe that a little bit?
Oh, so it's like a big building full of little shops, if you like, little
Mm-hmm.
businesses, little small businesses. So it would be like a one chair salon.
Yeah,
And in suites, you often find hair people, nail people, lashes, a lot of that sort of carry on.
yeah,
So that's a studio suite, but it's a really popular model in America.
yeah. It's huge in the States, isn't it?
Most hairdressers I know in America have a suite, to be fair.
Yeah,
But I would do that.
yeah,
I wouldn't, I did enjoy having a home salon for lots of reasons, but I didn't particularly, it wasn't, my house isn't geared up for it. Like I had to, people had to come upstairs and I would have
yeah.
preferred it if I had space downstairs and stuff like that.
How did
Because
Babs and Janet take to clients in the house?
well,
Were
Janet
they
was
okay?
not a fan, obviously. She's not a fan of anyone but me. She just used to leave the house. But Babs used to sit on people's knees when they were
Oh,
having
that's
their hair done, and people
cute.
loved it. I mean, some people
Yeah,
loved it, some people didn't. I would lock her
yeah.
out. But most people enjoyed having Babs sitting on their knee while they're
Oh,
having their
that's a
hair done.
perk. I love that.
But I had to keep my house tidy and stuff all the time because people were parading through it. So I wouldn't do that again. But I think a
Yeah.
studio suite would be brilliant. What about you? Because you were a salon owner.
Yeah, so I had a salon. I've had a few salons with employees, a partner, renters, the whole shebang. Where I love the most, and what I think this is probably going to turn into, Haley, rather than us turning back time, because I think we learn all our lessons from our mistakes and whatever else. Is maybe like if we were to build it again today, like what would we do,
Yeah,
knowing
that's kind of what,
everything?
yeah.
That's a vibe, isn't it?
That's really because what I would do now wasn't available.
Yeah,
Like
that's
even the
it.
studio suite wasn't available. Some of it I was
Exactly.
already doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like if we did
would you
it
have a
today.
salon again?
No, absolutely not. I wouldn't have a salon. I wouldn't have a partner. I wouldn't have a team. I loved the last.
See partner episode for more information.
Yeah. See all of that. It's funny because we both would go back to like the last place that we were, in a sense. So I worked in, it's like a serviced office. It wasn't that far from mine, because I used to work like 15, 20 miles away. So it's like a trek for me to get to work and back. So it was really near the house. I worked with one of my best mates, because she had it's Grace from Innocent Bones, so she had a huge sort of warehousey workspace kind of thing. She has a product business, and I just had my little space in there, and I honestly just loved it. It's what made us realize that my clients were not paying for a salon, a luxurious physical space. I mean, literally by the end, I think the last week I didn't even have a mirror. I was just like, okay, you're getting your head on here. I would have a mirror just for my clients, but I would just have, probably like private studio. I loved working one-on-one, and I think I would just have good relationships with colorists sort of nearby, and kind of collaborate with them and be like, you guys do the colour, I'll take care of the extensions. And that's, I just love that way of working. If only we were nearby, that would be the dream.
I know, bit of a schlep. I like the idea of the suites, because I like the idea that there's other people I could talk to who are in my line of business, but they're not in my space.
That's cool, yeah. I like that.
There's everything I want.
A place that I did work, which was similar to that, and I absolutely love it. A friend of mine, Gemma, who has a giant space in Seam, which is like County Durham. And it's like she keeps moving and getting bigger and bigger. And so I haven't seen the new place, but it's like a unit on like an industrial unit, and she had it all done out. And mine was the only one that was really like a self-contained salon. The rest was like a big open plan one, and then those little kind of suites, those little rooms. And I did like that you could just walk downstairs and see a nail tech and a colorist, and I could go and get my nails done like in between appointments. And you know, there was always like hanging out in the staff room and having a chat, and you know, hanging out in the office was cool. But it was just, in your words, the schlep. It was like getting to work, getting back. Like parking was a nightmare. And it's I also find it's always hard to like coordinate clients if you work by yourself, or you work with self-employed people, because obviously everyone has a different calendar. And you're gonna have that problem anywhere. Like if I had clients who went to another hairdresser for their colour, I need to speak to Janet and work out when Janet can do, and then come back to me, and which is always going to be a bit of a pain. But yeah.
So my question is this, Maddie: what would you do? Like, you were a hair extension person, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, can you colour hair?
So I'm like a qualified hairdresser. Yeah. But
so what services would you offer?
I would still do extensions, and I wouldn't waste any money on anything else, because I spent a bunch of money learning. I learned barbering, I learned hairdressing, I learned heaps of different hair loss stuff. Actually, saying that, there's some really good hair loss stuff coming out, or I'm seeing a bit of a shift into that, and I'm seeing more people struggling with that, and I think that's going to be the case as time goes on. So that I would just be more considered about where I spent my money and what I did, rather than being like, as we are, swept away in the hyper focus and the purchase. But I've always loved extensions. Like I love the transformation. I feel like you can do like a technically amazing colour, and the client just feels like they're getting their colour done. Whereas like extensions, when you know when you show them it finished and you do that last cut and it blends it all beautifully, and clients just light up. And I've always loved like transformative work. So I would like definitely stay with extensions. What would you do?
Oh, well, I can only do one thing, Maddie. So I mean that I'm a one-trick.
Would you try anything else? Yeah. Would you specialise in anything, or like niche down into anything?
This is exactly what I would do. I was thinking about this, and I would just do colour, because that's what I can do. I can't do haircuts anyway. My blow drying did improve. I can style pretty well now, but I would actually niche down even more, and I would just do blondes.
Nice.
That's what I would do now. I wouldn't do, and the reason for that is I could have less stock on the shelves. A, I was good at it. Yeah. B, I'm thinking about the clients I had, really, and I had a particular sort of person, and it suited me really well towards the end of my business. And I think the majority of my clients were blonde anyway. Mm-hmm. And I just think not really interested in doing tints and stuff like that. For the reason being, people want to come too much, and they had too much stock on the shelves. And so it really depends how you want to run your business, because I think you can run a great business doing tints, like I
Yeah.
totally do. However, that's not what I would choose to do now.
Yeah.
I would just do blondes. Yeah. And I think I could have reduced the amount of stock I had on my shelves so dramatically doing that.
Yeah. What
A
other
few olive tints, a few toners, some bleach,
oh,
you know.
the dream. Just a
That's
few
it.
tubes kicking about.
Just a few tubes, that's it. And I think it'd be brilliant. So
Yeah.
I would do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would work, I'd probably do 4 short days.
That was actually going to be my next question. On the tip of my tongue was what's the schedule?
I think I would do 4 days,
Yeah.
because if this is my main income, I feel like I'd do 4 days, but I would do no late nights and no Saturdays.
Same.
And to be honest, that's what I was doing when I stopped doing hair.
Yeah.
That's what I
Same.
was moved into anyway. My back was hurting. I mean, this is all bearing in mind that my back's not hurting.
Yeah.
But I would do
Well,
short.
physically well.
You know, there's reasons we all stopped doing hair, isn't there, Maddie, for me and you? But I would do shortish days. And so, like, straight from the school run, someone who can come
Yeah.
straight from the school run type time. So, like, 9:30. But I'd be taking my last client at, like, 2:30. If it was a
Yeah.
biggish job, I want to be out of there by 5:30.
Yeah.
That sort of day.
Same. I
No
would
late
do.
nights, no Saturdays, nothing.
Absolutely not. I would do, it's very similar, same as when I sort of left. So I would do, I dropped a Saturday and I decided that I wanted a midweek day off to sort of break my week up. And I worked a Monday because you just get all the industry people on a Monday and actually loads of other people working a Monday. So I would do a nice little cheeky Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday. I'd maybe do a little bit of admin, like a cup. I would get my admin down to like an hour, 2 hours on a Wednesday first thing.
Well,
Because
based on all the other things I'd do, my
yeah.
admin would be shrinking. There wouldn't
Yeah,
be
and
masses of admin.
well, yeah, and we can talk about how we're going to reduce our
Talk about
admin
that.
as we go back to our jobs. I would also have an assistant.
Me too.
Yeah, we're
Totally have an
business.
assistant.
The only time I've ever had an assistant really is I actually hired my sister after the pandemic. And so I trained her in extensions, and because I'm qualified to teach them, and I had her doing really like the removals, the maintenances, because I was like, my money maker's the fittings. If I can get someone like taking tapes out and retaping and toning them and all of that stuff. So I would definitely do that and just massively leverage my time. So let's say I'm doing two clients a day for 2, 4, 6, 8 clients a week. Doing like, I need to do some maths here. I'm going to work out how much money I'm making, and then paying my very glamorous assistant. But yeah, I would definitely do that and just be like, I'm doing fittings. You can see my assistant for all the other stuff.
All of that. I would, and I think we're going to see a move towards this in the industry more, where sole traders are hiring assistants.
Yeah.
I think I would absolutely do this.
Yeah.
I think I could do more colours in a day with an assistant. Doing colour without an assistant's pretty hard. Like for most of my career, I had assistants up until really, well, when I had a home salon. And I thought, if I just had a bit more space, another chair and an assistant, I could have more or less doubled my income easily.
It's insane, isn't it?
And I just like it.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, carry on. No, I was just going to say, I just like having an assistant. I actually considered hiring one of my old assistants because she was having a tough time. And she was brilliant. But I had a home salon and I was like, I'm not sure we could squeeze in.
It's hard,
but
yeah.
I think when you find the right assistant, it's just such a brilliant relationship. Like, honestly, I love loads of my assistants. I just love them. And I think I would really like that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the other reason is I think conversations can get a bit intense when you work one-on-one in a private space.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of avoiding that now because I think it all leads to the burnout when people start feeling they can overshare with you because they're in this private space. And when you bring somebody else into the space, the conversations stay lighter.
Yeah, you can like
And
ping
so
it
that
back
would be
and forth.
another, would be more like a bonus to that as well.
Defos. I've done a number crunch
Yeah.
for my week. So
Go on.
I was doing about 300 profit, like ballpark-ish for fittings. If I did 3 of them a day, which I think I could do with an assistant, especially having them like I would cut my bonds down and having someone literally pass up to you is like life changing when you do extensions.
Yeah. Oh, passing me files,
Oh,
dreamy.
it's honestly, some of my clients are like, "Can I pass to you?" Because they love having a little. They would love to have a little job.
Mm,
If I could do that, I'd be clearing 3,600 in profit minus what I would pay them. Let's say I'm giving them 600 a week, which I think is so three grand. What's that? 600 a week times 4. They're getting between
2004.
4 to 3,000 a month for 4 days of assistant, which I think is nice. I think we should pay people well. I'm doing like 12k. The cost of my booth, all right week for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you training this person up, Maddie, to
Yeah.
have their own column? Yeah. Like
No, not
traditional.
no, not
Is
necessarily,
yours more
because
someone who's going to stay an assistant?
yeah, someone who literally just wants to like chat patter all day, doesn't necessarily, because I'm like, I wouldn't want to expand. Like I wouldn't want to have like a big chain or have loads of team. Like my dream is just would be me doing that, them helping. That's fine. Like money wise, that's absolutely fine for
Someone
me.
who wants that sort of job.
Yeah, someone who like you say, if that's like a mum of school age kids, and they're coming in at
Yeah.
9:30 and finishing at 3, like what a dream. Because if they go prep my last
Yeah.
person and then I just finish, ideal, dream boat. I would have the assistant job if I was getting 3k a month to assist for 4 days
God,
a week.
I would.
Sign me
I
up.
might move to Newcastle and become the assistant.
I'm
Sounds
back, baby.
Really good. I think that sounds good. So I would definitely do your calculator. I didn't know you existed then. So
Same.
I don't think, yeah. So yeah, you don't think your calculator existed then.
No.
But I would definitely get on that.
Yeah,
I would
100%.
do your calculator.
Price is right from day one.
Tech wise, yeah, let's talk tech actually. This is what tech I would have.
Yeah.
I'd have QuickBooks.
Yeah.
I'd be taking card payments only.
Yes.
I wouldn't take cash.
Yeah.
It's too much faffing about. I don't want any of that.
No.
Card payments only. I would have a booking system. I'd have Timely.
Timely.
Obs. And I would definitely have a business account. I've always had a business account, but I'd like to highlight the fact that I would have a business account.
Yeah.
I like Monzo because they have the tax pot. I think it's great.
Yeah, lush.
Of
Pension?
course.
Immediately, day one.
Faux show. What about you, tech-wise?
100% booking system, Timely, booking system switched on, but I would hopefully just be in the position, because I'd be so fixed with my hours, I think I'd be in the position where I was like, right, I'm full, I'd have a wait list, and then literally one in, one out. No one gets squeezed in. No one gets, oh, well, I'm here on a Wednesday, I'll just put you in.
Yeah,
Or
the client's got to die for you to get a new one.
Literally, you've got to die or move to Australia, like otherwise you're not getting on the list. Yeah, I would definitely have online booking for them, but it would probably be to the point, and there's clients I work with, like coaching clients, where they're like this, where they never have to actually have people use the online booking thing, because all of their clients actually just have their slot, which is like, I'll see you this time in 12 weeks and just fill them up that way. But yeah, 100% would have a booking system just for the reminders, to take the payments,
Just
to
for
do
all of it.
policies from day one, shit hot tight
Taking
policies.
deposits.
100%.
Taking deposits on there.
Yeah.
Obs.
Oh my God,
all
yeah.
of that.
No,
I'll tell you another thing I would do, Maddie.
Yeah.
I would have 2 phones. I'd have a work phone and my normal phone.
Yes, and I'd get on
Absolutely.
WhatsApp for business, because I never got onto that, and that seems really good.
No, I wasn't onto that. I'm not sure it was a thing even. Who even knows? But I remember being scared of my phone as a hairdresser.
Like the notifications would be like, ooh.
It just was constantly people asking me for something, and I would want to be a lot less contactable than I used to be.
You did
And
the
so I would
Mariah
basically
Carey.
have a work phone, and I
Yeah.
might even leave it in the studio.
Yeah.
And I'd have
Smart.
WhatsApp business on it with a recorded message. And you've got a booking system, so if you need to move your appointment, you can move it. If you want to cancel it, you can cancel it. But I wouldn't
This
be
is
picking up
making me.
messages all the time.
I want to go back and do hair,
No.
Haley. This sounds like a great
I want to
business that
go
we've
back
got.
and run my business better.
Yeah.
As my business ended, I would say I was about 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
You know,
I've got
most of
another
this, a
one
lot of this was in place, but not everything. Some
for
of it. What else? What else have you got?
both of us. Yoga, Pilates, physio.
Oh my
Taking
God.
immensely good care of myself physically, not getting to the
Yes.
point that I needed surgery. Obviously, I've had surgery now, so it's fine. But
Do you know what I'd
yeah.
get, Maddie? I'll tell you what I've got, and it's not a thing over here, but it's massive in America, is a compression mat.
Oh
You know, to
yeah, I've
stand
seen
on.
this. Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
America, everybody has them. It's just not a thing here. Like, you can't
Yeah.
even buy them. You know, I've looked. You have to
Yeah.
order them from America.
Yeah.
And if I had a compression mat, my back would have been better. Whenever I talk to my American friends about how we don't have them, they're all like, "How are your backs?" I was like, "Not great. Yeah, not great.
Terrible. Collectively.
Terrible." So I would have a compression mat.
Yeah, definitely.
What else? I feel like that's the majority of the things
Yeah.
I
I
would
think,
do.
yeah, and I think I would definitely, I kind of did this anyway, but I would continue to learn the business side, like not being afraid of the business side. Um, I kind of got into this because I did some funded, like EU funded courses in business that were like nothing to do with the industry. And I've always found that so helpful, because I think the industry can have a bit of a nasty habit of, or there are some parts that can stay quite stagnant and resistant to change and adaptation, and resistant to tech and how things are, moving forward. And I would really spend a lot of time doing the business stuff and the strategy stuff and just really taking it seriously, because that was when I saw the biggest change in my business, when I was like, okay, I have to accept that I'm actually a business owner. I am not solely a hairdresser or a hair extensionist.
Doing a bit of hair.
Yeah, and I think the community side as well, and finding other people, if I'm not in the suite with, physically near people, is to find them online, but find groups that uplift you and make you feel better, not groups that make you feel like you've joined the worst industry and everything's gone to pot.
Yeah.
So
The echo chamber of misery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think to summarise, I would have some basic tech in place.
Yeah.
And my boundaries would be, shit hot. You wouldn't be able to get near me.
Yeah.
I would Mariah Carey myself completely. I think the work phone is the big thing that I didn't have. I mean, I coach everyone to get one. All my membership have got work phones, but it's transformative, that, where you just can't get a message at 9 at night going, thinking about getting a fringe, I just don't want that. Yeah, it's like, great. Yeah. I'll read that tomorrow at 9 when I'm in the salon, that kind of thing.
Even because in this business now, I'm like, maybe I should have two phones, because obviously everything comes into the one. And when you have a digital global 24/7, like everything's around all the time. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's everything for me. Have you got anything else?
I think just to say, like, none of these are hard things. Just for anyone who's like, I wish I could start again, is like, you can literally tomorrow go, I'm going to change my policies, or I'm going to start taking a 50% deposit up front, or I'm going to just look into getting a booking system. It's like, don't wait until you had to have surgery or that your back got so bad that you had to leave the industry. Like, let this be a lesson of, like, you can turn back time, or you can at least change your path and give yourself a much longer sort of runway in the industry. For anyone who's thinking, oh yeah, I don't have any of these things either. For me. Yeah, it's not too late. Pick one thing.
When I think about the things that I've said I would want, I don't feel overwhelmed by any of it. It all feels very easy to set up.
Yeah. And it's,
None of
and
it's
you know
that
how,
hard.
because we coach people in this, like we know how amazing it is. Like I love a person who's resistant to a booking system, and then I love 3 months later when they're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I've set up
Best
timely,
thing
and
that ever.
I woke up and I've got bookings and I've got deposits coming in and everyone's agreed to my
Yeah.
policies. I feel like so backed up by the booking
Mm-hmm.
system.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And yeah, some people are super, super resistant. So that one in particular, I think. But
Mm,
yeah, you can go. Here's your little permission
yeah.
slip. Go and change the future of your business just now.
Yeah. Wicked. I feel
Nice.
like I wouldn't mind this business at all. It looks
Sounds
quite
quite
good.
nice. Yeah.
It does. I like it. And I'm just this is 100% riding on the fact that my back is better.
Yeah, that's a crucial puzzle
That's
piece.
really
Yeah.
the big thing in there.
Yeah.
So, should we do some hyperfocus?
Yeah, man. Let's do one. Oh, I've got a great one, and
Go
I
on.
don't know if this is your cup of tea, but your gal loves a bit of tech, right? I love an app. Um, I love to travel, as we know. I'm like Judith Bloody Chalmers over here, and I found an app not long ago called Time Shifter, and it's to stop you getting jet lag
Shut
because
up.
I know. So for ages, I was like, we went to see. I'll drop it in. We went to see Taylor Swift, right? Because that's my life. And I was like, how is she doing? She's my age, right?
Oh,
How is
you
she
were
doing?
obsessed with how she was getting to the
How does
Super
she?
Bowl from her concert, weren't you, as
She's like,
well?
so granted, she's got a private jet, right? She's not flying. She doesn't fly economy or premium or even business class. She's in the jet, much to many people's disdain. But anyway,
But it
she
takes the same
does
time, doesn't it?
exactly. She
She's
does
still jet
four
lagged.
4 days on, 4 days off, which is quite unusual actually for artists. But she has 4 days. All of the trucks go. She's got two sets of trucks and sets. So while she's doing one show, the other one like piggybacks, goes to the next, sets up, and then
No.
yeah. So I'm reading all about it, and so she has those 4 days off. But literally in the 4 days, she's been like recording other albums, going to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, I travel for like a few days, and I feel like I'm gonna die for like a week at
Me and you
least.
are like, I've been to London for the day. I want to
Yeah,
die.
it's like the time zone's the same.
I
So
was
like,
in
God
London
forbid.
yesterday. I came back on the train at 8. I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Like, so I've got this like a bit obsession with that. Like, there is this sort of secret world of like wealthy people and people who travel loads, and people, you love the housewives getting the IV drips, and I think there are these things that go on that make your life a lot easier. Put it that way. So I found this app, and it's amazing. You put in the flight times and where you're going, and it literally tells you like hour by hour, and you can put in whether you take melatonin or not, and it'll say like, wake up, blast some light into your face, or sit with your sunglasses on, have lots of coffee, don't have lots of coffee, go to bed now, wake up now. So it shifts you before the holiday into the new time, and then at the end of the trip it shifts you back into home time, so you'd have much less of an adjustment time.
That
It's
sounds
just
fancy.
it's just amazing. So
You need
that's
to
my
send that to
obsession.
me.
Yeah, as a fellow travel enthusiast, because we have
Yes.
holiday coming up.
Well, funnily
Um,
enough, Maddie, my hyperfocus leans directly into yours. We're
oh,
so in
that was
sync.
good. I know.
A,
Go on,
send
what's
me your
yours?
app. Well, mine, as
I
people
will.
may or may not know, depending if they're following our stories, me and you are going to Vegas on holiday.
Yeah, buddy. Can't wait.
So I've got obsessed.
Haley, it's not
Whenever I'm,
holiday, by the way.
pardon?
It's not holiday. Can we just clarify?
Oh, yes, work trip.
Work trip. Thank
It's
you.
work trip in Vegas with some nice dinners.
Yeah.
We're going to Vegas, but
Hmm.
I've got my Google Maps going already. So I like to have a Google Maps for places when I'm going and
Yeah.
mark all the places that I might want to basically eat.
Yeah.
And so that when you're walking around, you can just be like, I'm starving, turn your map on. Oh, this is
Here it
near.
is. Yeah, nice.
And I just
Perfect.
love it, the looking forward to it where you search and then you've got somewhere to put the ideas,
Yeah,
that you've seen. You kind of dump them all on the Google Maps. So I've
I
got
love
these
that.
maps for cities all over the world,
Yeah.
which is brilliant because you can share them with people as well.
Haley, you
So
can
when I
sell
went to
that.
Amsterdam, my friend sent me his Amsterdam map. It's
Yeah,
great.
we've done
So I
that. Yeah,
just
yeah.
went everywhere he went because I was like, he knows what he's doing. Great.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm working on my Vegas Google map whenever I'm procrastinating from something I should be doing, Maddie.
It's my favourite form of procrastination. We need to do a collaborative saved folder on Instagram, because me and Aidan have this. So we have like a New York one, a LA one, like anywhere that we've been or that we're going. So anytime we see the food, it's always food.
It's a food tour.
We'll save it, and then it sends a message to the other person, and it'll be like, that croissant cookie, because we know, you know, that I love a hybrid food, that crookie, which I found about 5 in New York, it's on the list.
I found this milkshake cake collab place in Vegas. You get a milkshake with a piece of cake on top. I was like, I mean, I've never seen somewhere that feels more me and Maddie ever. Yeah, I feel like I might try and find us an IV drip place in Vegas.
Hayley, oh my God, stop.
Let's go get some vitamins.
Do you know what I can't wait to have a video of? Us having our milkshake with a cake on top, getting an IV drip of vitamins. Health. Oh man, it's going to be so good.
It's called balance, Maddie. Yes.
Yeah, look it up. Absolutely mint. Well, I'm even more excited than I was before about Vegas work trip. So
I can't wait. I'm just beside myself. Not long now.
I know. Countdown's on, pal. Right, well, it's been a pleasure in the time warp with you.
Yes. I will. I'll see you next week.
All right, mate. See you next week.
Bye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments.
Please support those who support us, and check out Timely, who we recommend as our favourite booking system for you. New customers can get 50% off their first 3 months with the code COFFEE50.